I'd like to call this village board meeting of Thursday, August 20th, 2020 to order. Would the deputy clerk please take the roll?
President Jackson,
Here.
Trustee Schmidt,
Here.
Trustee Sullivan,
Excused.
Trustee Light,
Here.
Trustee Meritato,
Here.
Trustee Pojek,
Here.
and Trustee Schroeder.
Here.
Would you all please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
Under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
for all. Trustee Schroeder, would you like to start us off, please?
Yes, I will. Thank you, Mayor. Okay. Golden Shear Salon is now accepting appointments at the Center for Senior Citizens. We offer services for both men and women, including haircuts, coloring, and perms. We also offer free consultations so we can help you look and feel your very best. At this time, we can only accept reservations. Walk-ins will not be permitted. Please note the Golden Shear Salon follows the Illinois Department of Public Health guidelines, which includes face coverings and hand sanitizers. To book your next appointment, please contact the Center for Senior Citizens at 630-260-6050. Also, it's not too late to do your civic duty and fill out your 2020 census. There are now 3 convenient ways to make sure you and your family are counted. You can fill out your 2020 census online at www.2020census.gov or call 844-330-2020, or you can mail in your questionnaire to U.S. Census Bureau National Processing Center at 1201 East 10th Street in Jefferson, Indiana, 47132. The new date to self-respond is now September the 30th. Census enumerators are already in your community knocking on doors to help you fill out your census. Completing your 2020 census affects schools, hospitals, congressional representatives, and much more. So be sure to complete your 2020 census because Glendale Heights counts. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mary. Trustee Pojek.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
The Village of Glendale Heights remembers Patriot Day on Friday, September 11th, with a silent parade of first responders vehicles followed by a candlelight service at 7:15 p.m. in order to properly distance ourselves due to COVID-19. The Patriot Day ceremony will be held at Cameron Park. At the flagpoles, face coverings are encouraged. Please join Mayor Jackson, our Village Board of Trustees, police and fire personnel, neighbors and friends as our community comes together for a moment of silence and reflection on Patriot Day as we remember those we lost on September 11, 2001. For more information, please call the Mayor's office at 630-909-5303. The Glendale Heights Police Department is hosting their 23rd Annual Citizens Police Academy beginning Tuesday, September 8th. The Citizens Police Academy gives participants a realistic view of police work by providing instruction, education on real-life police trainings, arrests, self-defense, firearms, safety, and more. Enrollment is free and open to citizens 18 years of age and older who live or work in Glendale Heights. Applications for enrollment can be downloaded and printed from the village website. For more information, contact the police department's non-emergency number at 630-260-6070. Thank you.
Thank you, Chester. Trustee Meritato.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Glendale Lakes Golf Club is busy with golfers. To ensure everyone's health and safety due to COVID-19, Glendale Lakes Golf Club is booking tee times with 12 minutes intervals. No walk-ups will be allowed, and you must book your tee times in advance. Tee times can be made up to 7 days in advance. Face masks must be worn when checking in for golf, in the golf shop, and when using the clubhouse restrooms. Golfers are encouraged to bring their own drinking water. Food and beverages are available for purchase. To book your tee time, visit www.glendalelakes.com or call the Pro Shop at 630-260-0018. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Trustee Light.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
GH2O Aquatic Center is now open on the weekends for the remainder of the season. Registration for a 2-hour time slot is available online or by calling the Sports Hub during adjusted business hours at 630-260-6060. Fees for each time slot are $4 for residents and $8 for non-residents. Pre-registration is required. Our registration team is available Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Saturday from 8 a.m. till noon. Due to the current COVID pandemic, GH2O Aquatic Center will be operating at limited capacity and under the strict guidelines and recommendations set forth by the Illinois Department of Public Health and Phase 4 of the Restoration Illinois Plan. For more information, please call the Sports Hub at 630-620-6060. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Trustee Schmidt.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
Join us Saturday, October 3rd from 10 a.m. to noon for coffee with the mayor and village board at the Center for Senior Citizens. Please note that there is no coffee with the mayor and village board in September due to the Labor Day holiday weekend. If you're unable to attend and have any comments, suggestions, or questions for the mayor or village board, please call the mayor's office anytime at 630-909-5303. The Village of Glendale Heights is partnering with the Northern Illinois Food Bank for a food distribution event on Saturday, August 29th from 9 a.m. to noon at Camera Park. This event will help feed those families and individuals who have been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. You do not need to be a resident of Glendale Heights in order to receive assistance, and no identification is required. We ask that you please wear a face covering and remain in your vehicle. Please drive slowly and follow the directions from the staff and volunteers upon arrival. We want to thank all the supporting organizations for your help in making sure no family or individual goes hungry. For more information, please contact the Sports Hub at 630-260-6060. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. We would like everybody to register today for the Mission at Home Medical Clinic hosted by Amita Health in the Village of Glendale Heights. This free clinic will be offering an array of services to those needing assistance. The COVID-19 pandemic has made it even more critical for patients who need health care but are unable to afford the cost. The free medical clinic is only open to those that register in advance and will be held on Saturday, September 12th and Sunday, September 13th at the Sports Hub. To register, or if you have any questions about the Mission at Home Medical Clinic, please call 855-MY-AMITA or 855-692-6482. So anybody that's in need of health care, please look into going to this. People trying to help people. We have a proclamation before us to proclaim August 31st, 2020 as International Overdose Awareness Day. So if there are no objections, I will sign it. Thank you. And now we have a very special moment, and Keith is going to take over.
If I could have Sue come up. Thank you, Mayor and Board, for the opportunity to be able to take a moment tonight at tonight's meeting to honor Sue Etheridge on her retirement from the Village of Glendale Heights. Sue is here with her husband, Joe, and I put a big spot here because she said, oh, I think only Joe's going to come tonight, and all of her family was able to attend except for one granddaughter who left for college. So her entire family is here in the audience, so thank you all for coming today. Sue is retiring as the Glendale Heights Sports Hub preschool director, a position that she started in 1986. Her actual teaching career started with the village in 1977. So tonight we are honoring Sue's over 42 years career with the village of Glendale Heights. Through those years, she has taught generations of preschool students for the recreation department while always connecting with both the parents and students in her care. I've had the privilege of working with Sue in 2 different stints at the Sports Hub, and I remember what I was taught about Sue when I first started back in the 90s. Late 90s, I like to say that. If you have a preschool question, take a message and let Sue handle it. Sue handles everything preschool. When I returned to the Hub a few years ago, I heard exactly the same thing. From paperwork for DCFS recertifications to information needed for program guides, Sue has always been there to get the job done and ensure that the preschool children in the program's needs were taken care of. Having only been able to work with Sue for a few years, I called former director C. Sullivan to let me know a little bit more about the really early days of Sue's career. Now, Sue is already cringing over here. One of the first things that Sue said, or that C said, was that Sue had a saying that she used when she would talk to Cease, and she would always include the phrase, "We just have to make things a little more special," when discussing preschool, and that was something that Sue went to a great deal of effort to do. Cease also mentioned that in the early days, the budget for the program was not very large. And Sue would walk in on a Monday morning with bags of stuff that she had purchased at garage sales and flea markets to help fill the rooms with more opportunities for the children. As I bring my words to a close, I want to thank Sue for her many years of dedicated service to the village of Glendale Heights. Be it in the classroom or out at Safety Town during trick-or-treating, her smile and upbeat personality will definitely be missed. At this time, I believe Mayor Jackson has a proclamation to read.
This proclamation is recognition of Sue Etheridge, preschool director. Whereas, after over 42 years of dedicated public service, Sue Etheridge is retiring from the village of Glendale Heights. And whereas Sue started her career with the village of Glendale Heights on November 29, 1977, in the recreation department as a preschool teacher. In 1978, the construction of a new recreation center was completed and the village's new preschool program finally found a permanent home. As the program continued to grow, she had the opportunity to expand her career and became the first preschool director in May 1986. Whereas Sue knew the importance of early childhood education and was committed to providing a nurturing environment and positive early learning experience for every child. Her kind, patient demeanor helped put kids at ease, and she made learning fun through her creativity. And whereas Sue's vast knowledge of early education made her not only a valuable asset to the village, but a favorite among children and parents, and has taught multiple generations of families in Glendale Heights. And whereas Sue's professionalism, kindness, and friendship will be greatly missed by the village board, staff, students, and the Glendale Heights community. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Linda Jackson, President of the Village of Glendale Heights, do hereby extend our sincere appreciation to Sue Etheridge for her years of hard work and dedication to the Village of Glendale Heights. I further congratulate her on a well-deserved retirement and wish her happiness and good health in the years ahead. So if there are no objections, I will sign her proclamation. Thank you, Sue. You have touched so many lives. I know.
I'd just like to say thank you to Mike and to Linda and to Keith and to all of you for giving me this opportunity, because I know how hard you work for this village and how much you care about our residents and about our village, and I'm so proud to have been a part of that. So thank you. And thank you to my teachers for making my job really easy. And thank you to my family for being here tonight. I've been so blessed, and this job is like the best job ever. And I've loved every minute of it, of every day. Well, almost every minute, right? Of every day. And so I thank you for sharing that with me and letting me do that. I'm going to miss all of you and miss seeing you. I'm going to miss my families, and I'm really going to miss my kids. But we have lots to look forward to. My husband and I and the kids, we have lots of big adventures ahead of us. So, and my grandkids. So thank you all so much, and it's been fun. It's really been fun. Thank you. I love you all.
Thank you, Sue. We love you.
I got a little more.
But we're not done.
Mayor, it is tradition that we have a retirement cake to honor the retiree. Oh, but before we do that, it's also a tradition that I actually give out the gift that I was supposed to give out before, so I need to do that.
Yes. Well, because
The mayor was going to remind me
if Sue comes
that.
on these little footprints up here,
Yep.
she's not going to be able to reach it, and I'm not going to be able to give it to her.
So this is on behalf of the village board for your years of service.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
And as I said, it's tradition that we have a retirement cake to honor the retiree. But in this time of COVID, we didn't feel that would be the right thing to do. So instead, I would request a brief recess so that we can have one last snack time with Mrs. Etheridge. So today, we're going to have goldfish crackers and juice boxes while we get our pictures taken. So if you would please recess, I would appreciate it.
This meeting is recessed. I'd like to call this meeting back to order. Next thing on the agenda is public discussion of agenda items. If anyone in the public wishes to address this board on an agenda item, please step forward. Being none, you have the consent agenda before you, but before we go into that, we need to remove number 16. So if everybody would please take number 16 off of their agenda.
Bless you.
Mayor, did you do public discussion? Did you ask for public discussion already?
I did.
apologize.
Are you
I'm not
sleeping?
paying attention. I'm sleeping here.
Now, a motion would be in order. Trustee Schmidt.
I move that we adopt the consent agenda items 1 through 15 as presented.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Trustee Schmidt,
Yes.
Trustee Light,
Yes.
Trustee Meritato,
Yes.
Trustee Pojek,
Yes.
and Trustee Schroeder.
Yes.
The consent agenda is approved. There is no old business. And new business number 1 is a motion to waive first reading on new business number 2. So a motion would be in order. Trustee Schmidt.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? First reading is waived on item number 2, which is an ordinance extending temporary executive powers pursuant to 65 ILCS 5/11-1-6. First reading has been waived. This would be ordinance number 2020-49. Trustee Pojek.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call vote.
Trustee Light,
Yes.
Trustee Meritato,
Yes.
Trustee Pojek,
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
and Trustee Schmidt.
Yes.
Ordinance 2020-49 is approved. We're now back to public discussion of agenda items. If there's anyone in the public that wishes to address this board on an agenda item, please step forward. Being none, a motion to adjourn would be in order. Trustee Meritato.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? This meeting is adjourned, and Committee of the Whole will start with Trustee Schmidt
Oh, hang on, I gotta get there.
as the chair right now.
Okay. The Thursday, August 20th Committee of the Whole meeting is called to order. The clerk, please note who is present.
So noted.
Bill, can you take it off while you talk?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm trying to get to the,
Will the clerk please know who's present?
so noted.
Thank you. Are there any additions to the agenda? Okay, there being none. First item is a committee recommendation from the Plan Commission. It's a recommendation to deny the application for an amendment to a previously approved conditional use ordinance 83-29 in the C3 General Commercial District to allow storage of vehicles waiting to be serviced to be parked in the front yard parking lot and to allow the outdoor storage of U-Haul rental trucks, trailers, and cargo vans in the rear yard of the subject property located at 387 East North Avenue at Ed & Sons Auto Body. This was tabled at the August 6, 2020 meeting. We will need a motion to remove the item from the table for further discussion. Do I have a motion? Trustee Light,
So moved.
second.
Second.
Mayor Jackson. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the motion is off the table and available for discussion. Ms. Kalkbrenner, you have the floor.
Thank you, Trustee Schmidt. At the last meeting on August 6th, the item was tabled and staff was requested to provide additional information on several items. The first item is the original approval. I believe Trustee Pojek asked what was approved initially. A copy of the original approval ordinance 83-29 was attached in your supplemental packet. It did grant approval for a repair shop with conditions that the off-street parking within the setback not be used for storage of vehicles to be serviced, a fence be erected, and that construction could conform with applicable codes. The new proposal this evening is request an amendment to that original conditional use to allow storage of vehicles to be serviced in the parking stalls in the front and allow the rental of U-Haul trucks and trailers, which would be stored behind the building. Trustees also asked for information regarding the fire inspections of the property, and in your packet, the copies of the fire inspections was also included. The fire district also did do an additional inspection today. That result was not included in your packet, but we do have copies if you would like those as well. Then the final questions asked was the timing of the notification and code enforcement of the U-Haul facility, or U-Haul trailers at Ed & Sons. We have reviewed the records, and there's a timeline also included in your packet. I can summarize that briefly. As Mr. Schroeder mentioned, that he was first made aware of the situation when he reported a lost dog. Police department was gracious enough to find that report, and that was August 1st of 2018. Then Community Development Department staff followed up with Mr. Schroeder in February of 2019 to follow up with that initial notification with the police department in August. We do not have that in writing. It was a courtesy phone call. We sometimes do that with small businesses rather than start code enforcement cases and issue citations. We do that as a courtesy with our local businesses. We then followed up again in November of 19, asking about the conditional use and following up, I'm sorry, get my notes here. And then on December 4th, we sent a follow-up email indicating that we had not had a response. And then we met with Mr. Schroeder on December 11th to review the proposed or the conditional use process and expressing some concerns with parking on the site. And then January 17th, we provided Mr. Schroeder a letter outlining some of the questions and issues that we had. Mr. Schroeder submitted the application on February 19th, and on February 24th, we contacted Mr. Schroeder and asked for additional information regarding the proposal. March 2nd, we sent Mr. Schroeder a letter asking for additional information and advising him he would be on the March 24th, 2020 Plan Commission member meeting. And then as you all recall, COVID started happening and we had to cancel those meetings. So he was ultimately, the case was ultimately considered on June 9th of 2020. The Plan Commission considered the case, and after much deliberation, they did recommend denial due to the lack of parking and storage on the site, that there are a total of 8 parking spaces, one of which needs to be converted to a handicap space, which results in 6 parking spaces. During the meeting, the Plan Commission meeting, there was a lot of discussion about how to possibly fit the cars needing service and the U-Hauls on the site, and we learned that the number of employees and the number of bays would actually require a total of 16 parking spaces. The Plan Commission ultimately unanimously recommended denial of the request. And the case was considered, was scheduled for Village Board consideration on June 18th. Committee of the Whole. Mr. Schroeder did request a continuance until August. Glenside Fire District provided a supplemental letter, which is also in your packet, on June 26th. And then August 6th was the Committee of the Whole meeting and continued to this evening. So certainly I have, Mr. Butler from the Fire District is here as well, and if you have any questions for me, and Mr. Schroeder is here as well. And we do have some photographs of the site as well as the site plan. You can see that's the site. The top of the plan is North Avenue, and it shows the parking on the site. And that's the rear area where the U-Hauls are proposed to be stored behind the building. And then because of the request and the length of time, we've been taking photos of the site regularly for several months, both before and after the Plan Commission meeting. So some are a little bit more difficult to see. I apologize. So I won't go through all of them, but if you have any more, we can certainly, they are in your packets as well.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay, is there any discussion? Trustee Light.
I got just a couple questions for Brad, if I could. Good evening, Brad. I got just questions. Reading through your reports, oh, sorry. It's better. I can hear me better now.
Thank you.
Reading through your reports, I noticed many points and questions that you had as far as dangerous situations for firefighter lives and for other businesses and properties around the area. One of my concerns was, I mean, with the overload of the vehicles that would be in there, especially in the back lot and the side, access points, let's say for roof and for other, spots that might be, can I ask, what would your opinion be of this property? I know what I've read through here. What would it actually be as far as the condition it sits in now if there were to be a fire with these vehicles in place? What issues would we be looking at?
Well, so we like to have access around the building. We like to have access to the entrance points, the roofs. That's part of the operation of a fire, so we need that access. Anything that obstructs that access delays us. It gets in our way. It could cause, obstructions. Maybe we can't get in. It also could hamper the operations. It might even increase the possibility of injury, trying to get around all that equipment to the firefighters. So we try to work around it, and if we can, we will. But otherwise, we would prefer it not be there. Yep.
And that I completely understand the safety part of it. I didn't see, today's inspection as far as that went. I mean, I have no idea where that's at. What I read was, there were definitely infractions in place, I guess. But my biggest thing is with the village ordinances that we have in place already, that were created by this board some time ago, limit the amount of parking, limit the amount of access, to what can be done in this piece of property. And with adding to this, with the firefighters problem, I mean, it's going to be very difficult to see it happen. I was just created, I don't want to create a bigger problem than already exists. So that was all the questions I had really for you. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else?
If you were to fight this fire, you would do it in front of the building, right?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
If you was to fight, let's say the place went up in flames, you would fight it in the front of the building, wouldn't you?
You never know where you're going to fight the fire. You have no clue where the fire is going to be and how you're going to access the building. That's really up to the first officer who will make that decision.
Okay, because you couldn't get a fire truck back there anyway, even with no cars.
I would agree with you. Probably would not put a fire truck in the back or the side, no. But we'd have to stretch lines, we'd have to get to the building, get in the building, get on the roof, that kind of stuff, yeah. So the access we're talking about is not rigs, not fire trucks. We'd be on North Avenue, working off North Avenue, yep.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Nobody? Thank you, sir.
Mr. Schroeder, you got some questions?
Is there anybody in the audience who wishes to speak?
That's it?
Bill, I did not hear
Sorry.
what you said.
Is there anybody in the public that wishes to address the board?
Yes. You want to hear?
Okay.
Come over to this one.
Okay, you could use the far microphone.
Okay. So, as we know, I found this dog in 2018, 8/20 of 18. Now, the email that I got from Michael Kroll was November 20th of 2019. So, I mean, this was a big time delay here, okay? Since I found out that all these pictures and everything are going on, and I know you guys have been looking at my property, I got everything buried in the back. And if you look at one of those original documents from the original plot of survey, the way this piece of the way this piece of land was supposed to be. The back was all supposed to be gated in anyways. So if and it was set there for deemed totaled vehicles, okay? So that way the public wouldn't see them, okay? So there shouldn't be an issue with these vehicles in the backyard. On the side of the building, I'm using that as a staging area. I've been leaving one 6x12 trailer in the front of the building set off to the curb. The reason I do that is it's a dual axle trailer. It's very I got to put it on my truck to move it. I can't move it by hand. That whole front of my building is accessible. I mean, if we're worried about Ed and Sons Auto Body, and you won't give me this permit, I mean, we should have looked at this hookah bar before we gave them a permit. They're trash in the neighborhood. When I spoke to the mayor yesterday, I mean, she doesn't want the property, the Glendale Heights North Avenue freeway to look bad. The hookah bar, I look at my camera every night before I go to bed. Their cars are in my parking lot. My trucks are all put away. Now that I know that everybody's up my stuff about this, I'm keeping my stuff put away. When the fireman came in today, I asked him, I said, how would you fight a fire in my building? He said today, he goes, you go on the roof, you gotta cut a hole, and then you cut a hole in the front door for access tunnel. Okay. And yeah, you could show me pictures. When were these pictures taken? I mean, let's put a date down, like I said to the Planning Commission. Is this from May 1st to May 31st? Now we have structure here. This is how it looks every day. No, if you've looked at it from the 4th, August 4th to today, my lot, I look like I got no freaking work in there because I've been leaving all my stuff. I've been hiding it all, basically, so that way there's access. I haven't had a fire in 36 years. I understand, yes, it could happen. Anything could happen. I have a brother and sister that died at 55. That's my next year birthday. I might be freaking dead and we won't even be here I won't be here talking about this. I need this to help my company, okay? My funds are down. I'm pleading with you, please help me. I'm not asking you for money, and I'm willing to give you money for the permit. If my stuff looks really bad, call me up, give me a warning. I've left calls with some trustees. They don't return my calls. I mean, call me. Just say, hey, man, what's up? You got a bundle of stuff in front of your place. You can't do this. I'll move it. I'm a small business. 36 years I've been in the community, longer than all of you guys have been on this board, okay? If I make it past next year, I plan on being there for another 20 years, you know? I mean, so don't make me fight. Come on, please. I'm asking you, please help me, okay? I haven't hurt the community for 36 years. I've never gotten the police don't care about me because I don't bother them. The fire department normally doesn't say anything to me either. They come in once a year, every 2 years for a checkup, fix my extinguishers. Life's good. I'm not hurting anybody. If I was hurting one of you guys, then you could tell me. The hookah bar, like I said, you gave them a business license? I have more trash on my lawn and in the front of my building when I walk in the morning than I've ever seen. And you're worried about my U-Haul trucks? My U-Haul trucks look great out there compared to how would you like to walk in and see bottles of Jack Daniels and stuff all over your property? I'm not happy with that. Is there anything I could do? No, they're not my neighbors. Ask them, I throw the bottles back at their building. I ask them not to do it. Can you pick up when you leave? They don't. I'm sorry. I'm really uptight about this. I really need the help. We're seeing 33% of the restaurants are going to go out of business because of this COVID-19. I can't afford this. I'm asking for help, please. Okay, I'm not asking for cash. I'm asking just give me a permit. Just let me roll. I'm not hurting anybody. And if it affects you, call me. You call my shop, my cell number's on there. Okay? My cell number's always near me. I'm not hurting anybody. And if I didn't have to apply for this permit with her, nobody would even look at my store. Nobody cares about Ed & Sons Auto Body. Nobody's cared about Ed & Sons Auto Body for 36 years. As long as I buy my business license every year, I pay my taxes, life's good. I pay for my insurance. I'm not hurting anybody. All my customers, lots of them are from Glendale Heights. I mean, come on, they vote for all you guys. Come on, help me out. That's all. Okay, I'm sorry. Any questions?
I just want to ask Joanne. Joanne, when were those pictures taken?
The pictures are all dated, and they're in series. The most recent was today, actually. I can thumb through. So there's a variety. Sorry, is that? That may be today. I can't see I'm sorry, I'm a little too far away, and my eyes are old. Was that today?
Yes.
That was today.
Right. Can I explain that one, though?
Sure, this was.
Moving things out of my back lot.
Right.
So I had to move them or either to put my stuff in the back lot or to move them out.
So that is the request is for them in the back. And so we have been monitoring the trucks to see if they are behind the building. And I apologize, I can't, what is the date on that one?
17th.
The 17th of August, so that is a couple days ago. Right.
That's why I'm staging them on the side of the building. That driveway going down the side of the building, they say I can't use for parking. So I'm staging the U-Hauls there as they go. They're in order and they're leaving. They're not staying there. But I mean, it is my property. It is my cement. I should be able to put something on it if I want to. So yeah, okay, you see the trucks, they're leaving.
So just to clarify, the request is for the trucks to be behind the building. So if they're allowed there, the request would need to be modified to be on the side of the building.
Now you're getting a little nitpicky, Joanne. Come on.
My job is to present to the village board what you're proposing, and then my job then is to enforce it, and I don't like to do code enforcement. So whatever's approved is what you're entitled to do. Whatever the board approves, I have to enforce. I do not want to write you a ticket every day, so it's not being picky, it's being precise, so we know where we are all starting from. So there's a variety since Plan Commission was, I believe it was June 9th. So there's the variety. So they are all dated, and then Mr. Schroeder had mentioned previously that everything was removed by 8 a.m., so then we started writing down the times as well, just to document, because there was some concern that we were only taking them first thing in the morning. So all the photos are dated. So.
Trustee Pojek?
Yeah, Mike, my issue is you never had a permit to rent any U-Haul equipment as a second business. That's my huge issue with you. After a couple of years, you never had a permit. Am I correct, Joanne?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
That's my issue.
And I apologized. In the first letter that I wrote to the Planning Commission, I did apologize about that because I was not aware of that. If I was, when I became aware by the community police officer in 2018, that's when I contacted the Community Development Department, Mike Kroll. As we see, it took until November of 19 for him to send me the packet.
No, it was in February of 19, not November of 19.
Okay, the first email or the one that I was able to retrieve was 11 of 19.
I appreciate that because we made verbal contact with you as a courtesy, rather than, so we talked to you about it.
Okay, I will not argue with you, Joanne. Joanne, I got a lot on my plate, so I'm not, and I know you do too.
I do.
So.
The Plan Commission tried very, very hard to come up with a solution, and I offered to meet with you after the Plan Commission meeting to try to figure out how to make this work without having the trucks parked on the hookah bar property and on the other.
And they haven't been on the hookah bar property in your photos. Wait,
Right there. June,
that's my property.
that is in front of the hookah property.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we are more than happy to continue to try to come up with other solutions, but we are, the Plan Commission and staff is concerned with the lack of parking.
It's been working for me for 3 years. It's not hurting anybody. It's not hurting anybody in this room. So, I mean, really? I mean, come on, COVID, I'm down 40% in money. You know, like I said, look at the Pancake House down the street, 46 years in business, they closed. I mean, really? I mean, okay, give me a COVID, you know what I mean? Help me out. I mean, PPP money, everybody's trying to help the small businesses out. 33% of restaurants are gonna close. I mean, really? You know, I mean, can't you help the small guy out? I'm not hurting anybody in this room, nobody. And I've been really cleaning my act up, because I was real loose. I was real loose before, because I wasn't thinking anything of it. Once I had to go in front of you, then I'm like, I'm crossing my T's and dotting my I's now. I'm looking good over there. I mean, let's do it a year by year permit. You know what I mean? If you see me getting real sloppy, don't give it to me. I'm fine with that. Just help me out, come on.
Trustee Schroeder?
Well, I'd like to say something. He's asking for your help. I mean, come on, give the guy a break. I mean, this is not the time to not help somebody. And he is a small business. We all know what it's been like when we didn't have money. So come on, I mean, what else do you want him to do? He's telling you go year by year for him. I mean, I don't know what else you want him to do.
Trustee Meritato?
Yeah, I do agree with my colleagues, Trustee Pojek, on not getting a license, but that's about all I agree with. I think that we should, I mean, I don't see a problem with it. You know, I mean, you're a small guy, a small business, this COVID-19 been knocking everybody out of the water. I mean, I'm here to help people. So, I mean, you know, for me, I mean, could we give them a 6-month license? If you don't work out in 6 months, we pull his license. And we pull the ordinance, give him a 6-month permit. I mean, I just say, you know, I mean.
I like coming to see all you guys. It's all good.
You what?
I like coming here to see you guys. I'd like to come and see you every 6 months.
I guess.
Mayor Jackson?
Let Mike go first.
I was going to move it to the board, or recommendation concur with the Plan Commission.
I'll second that, and now you go to discussion.
Okay, is there any further discussion?
I mean, it doesn't look like I'm gonna win, so I disagree with it. I think we should let him have it. Give him 6 months, give him a year, or whatever we want to give the guy. I mean, the guy's actually begging us.
Well, the motion right now is just...
to make some money in his business.
The motion right now is to move the Plan Commission's recommendation to the full board. It's not to approve or deny his petition. That would be the board's job. Right now, all we're doing is moving the Plan Commission's recommendation to the board. The board will have the final say on it. We have a motion on the floor to move the motion to the board with a recommendation to concur. All in favor?
No,
No.
Discussion.
Discussion.
Okay.
Mike, I talked to you for a long time the other day on the phone.
I know.
I told you this isn't personal. It's nothing against you. It's not against your business. But if we grant you permission to do this, any business in Glendale Heights, no matter what they are or where they are, can get a bunch of U-Haul trucks in
You
and
can't,
start renting them. If we let you do it, we have to let anybody that comes up here do it. The laws, the ordinances are there for a reason. You even said that you had gotten sloppy with this stuff, but once you had to come in front of Plan Commission and stuff, you cleaned up your act.
I didn't realize how important this was.
What
it had
that
to be all
told me
clean.
is, Michael, then you don't have the community pride and stuff that we were looking at. Until that, you're right, you kept that place nice and everything. But then there's how many trucks, trailers? Your lot is 70 foot wide. How wide is your building?
40.
Pardon?
40.
40. So that leaves 30 feet, period, on the sides. How wide is your biggest U-Haul truck?
Whatever our car size is, I can't tell you. It's
Oh, it's
7
bigger
feet.
than a car.
Oh, it's 7, it's got to fit in a driving lane. I think a lane down the street is 9 feet. I'm not for sure.
Is that what a lane is, Doug? Do you know?
10, 8 to 10 wide. 12 maybe tops.
But regardless, you're asking us to take care of a problem that you have,
No,
that technically you created, because this started way before COVID. This started 3 years ago. So wasn't the business was down because of COVID and look at all the places closing? You started it prior to that.
and wasn't aware that I needed a license.
Did you ask?
No. Wait, did anybody tell me? Until 18, I'm a year into it, and then somebody finally knocked
But
at
somebody
my...
told you in 18. A
The police
community
officer,
service
the police
officer, correct?
Yes, ma'am. A year into it.
Right.
And now, the equipment that I have is 3 years built up. So if the planning commission, with their guy that drives around, sees somebody opening up with U-Hauls, okay, I have equipment built up because I'm there for 3 years. When you first start a U-Haul business, you get a piece or two of equipment. It's not like you get a whole fleet. I got 6 trucks now and some trailers.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Which is an
And they all
awful
fit- they
lot
all
on
fit in-
that piece of property,
They all fit in my
Michael.
backyard.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, they do.
Mike, you had a fire inspection today?
Yes, I did.
What was the first thing on the list of violations? Because the village did FOIA
The
the
first thing,
fire
the
department.
first thing that he said something about is in my office, I have insulation up there that has a backing, a paper backing. That was the first thing. No, one of the things, I know where you're going with this.
Yes.
Was there was a U-Haul truck in my backyard.
Wait a minute. It didn't say there was a U-Haul truck in your backyard. It said that your back entrance and the emergency outlet, I'm sure, for the back of the shop
The door didn't swing all the way.
was blocked by a U-Haul truck.
It didn't swing all the way. It didn't do a complete
Mike.
90.
I don't want to sit here and argue with you. I want to see every business, everything in Glendale Heights succeed. But I don't think we can sit up here, at least I know I can't, and say, well, forget about that ordinance, forget about that permit, because we've got to help Mike. Because then we'd have to forget about this permit or this law, because we've got to help Brad. Or we've got to help somebody else. We can't just toss out the ordinances and permits That building, everything, that property is on a planned unit development. A planned unit development is put out there so that land can be developed for specific things to be able to be operated on that land with restrictions on it, and that's how the whole thing came about. There's nowhere where we just take a PUD and say, forget it. I do. I understand what you're saying. I understand you need help. Did you get one of the PPE loans?
Yeah,
PPP?
it wasn't enough.
What?
Yes, I got a PPP loan. It wasn't a lot of money, though. It's not like it saved me. U-Haul gives me, out of that 40%, it gives me 10 or 15% of that money back. So now I'm not looking as big of a hit on it. That's all, Linda. I thought on our conversation you weren't going to go into this
Every
for
other
me.
business. I mean, you're talking about businesses closing,
Right.
and you're saying, but you should help me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm asking you because I'm here, and I'm here to ask you. I'm asking you, please. I'm asking you, please help me, okay? If you needed help, I would be right there, any of you guys. I wouldn't hesitate. I wouldn't think twice about it. You help people. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Unless you're just a selfish person, then you wouldn't help somebody.
Oh, my gosh. You know what?
No, wait, Linda.
I'm sorry. You have called my family members, trying to get them to convince me.
I asked Billy to ask you.
He's my son.
I know.
And what did I tell you? I told you that I don't care if Billy came begging to me.
Right.
That the reason I'm against it is because it's not the best use for that. It is not being operated legally because there is no permit. And there has repeatedly been parking all over the place. I told you if Suburban Tire, where you know Billy works, came in here and asked for U-Haul trucks, I would be telling them the same thing I'm telling you. And they have a much bigger lot. Much bigger.
And like I told you too on the phone, they do a lot more things than I do.
Then, Mike, do something else in the shop. Nobody said you just have to be a body shop.
Right.
You could do some automotive work. I don't think that's a violation
I do
of
if it's
the
related.
PUD.
If it's related to the accident, I do it. I don't advertise doing it because you have all of these. You have Merlin's down the street. You have Tuffy's. You have Suburban Tire. You have all these small little shops doing these other mechanical type of things. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to be one of them then too?
Yeah. I'm upset that you came and belittled our
I did
community
not.
development staff.
No, I
You have
didn't.
several times, and that bothers me because they work hard. And I told you, and I told you on the phone when I talked to you, that because of who you're related to, people don't want to cause waves. Could they have been more aggressive with it? Yeah, and maybe they should have been. Because instead of trying to remedy an issue by talking to you and not putting all these notices out of your violation, they tried to talk to you.
No, nobody tried to talk to me.
What?
Nobody tried to talk to me, Linda.
Okay. I know they tried to talk to you, Mike. I know why things weren't stronger. And
Because she's busy. That's why they weren't
Oh, no.
stronger. She's got a lot on her plate.
yeah, I know she does.
I know.
And a lot of that is people violating by not getting permits, by not following the ordinances. I told you before, this is very difficult for me because I've worked with your mom and your aunt for many, many, many years. And I don't like to see anybody hurting, business-wise or otherwise. But we can't turn around and change, just create something that gives you the right to operate illegally and not do it for any other business that comes in here. You know, it wasn't part of the PUD or part of Ed & Sons Auto Body to have U-Haul rentals. It wasn't part of Maytag Laundromat to have U-Haul rentals. But people, they just did it. And then they just think, well, too bad. I've already established this. So what if it's not supposed to be here? I'm sorry. I honestly, I told you what we do for one, we have to do for all. And this would be horrendous. If anybody can just start renting stuff out, my gosh, you can't even put up signs anywhere you want. I mean, there's regulations on everything. And for us to sit here and say, well, okay, times are bad, just go ahead and have all the vehicles you want out there.
I told them not to give me big, long vehicles any longer, okay? I'm bringing my stuff down, you know what I mean? So I don't have these big things hanging around, okay? All my stuff's in the back. Linda, come on. It's not, I
know it's blocking the emergency exit. No. You know what, Mike? I wish you the best. I don't want to see any business in trouble. But you were doing this before the economic issue.
Mm-hmm.
To make extra money, which everybody wants extra money, which means every business in this town wants extra money.
Right.
So if they decide to do something that they don't have permission to do or whatever, they're just going to do it. Because the son of a trustee could do it. To be plain and simple.
Linda, can I interrupt you? Because
You
we can
most
debate this
certainly-
all night.
You most certainly can.
On
'cause
Army
I don't
Trail
wanna talk
Road,
anymore.
next to Menards, there's a storage unit that opened up, was it last year or the year before last? They wanted U-Haul equipment there.
By
The
Home
entire board voted against it, except Mary, she was absent that day. Now they're out. They can't have U-Haul trucks over there. And they had plenty of room.
I know.
Plenty of room. We voted it down. So why should we let you operate? That's my, oh, wait, let me finish. And then Maytag, that's another one. They're operating, they have no permit. They're after them. That's my issue. You're not an exception to anybody else. We don't want you there. I don't want you there. I don't know how the rest of the board members feel, but that's my opinion, Mike. Nothing against you personally, but it wasn't done right. That's all I got to say. That's all.
Well, that company on Army Trail Road where the old Dominic's was, I mean, that has ample parking. I don't know why.
I just said that. I know.
I don't know why you guys wouldn't let them do it. And Maytag, he's got something going on where he doesn't want to send the letters out. He doesn't want to put a sign up. He wants to sue the city. That's his deal. You know, I'm at least here in front of the board trying to make it right now. Yes.
I think we got a motion to go to the board, right?
Excuse me, I don't think we could talk about that right now anyway, right?
No.
About what?
The other two facilities?
Anything.
We can't talk about that, right?
No, I don't, you can talk about it.
Okay. The one on Army Trail Road that we denied, it's right next door to Home Depot, and Home Depot has rental trucks. That's why I voted no for that. And the laundromat, that's in a shopping center. It's not a standing free business, and I voted no for that. So so I clarify with Chester that I voted no for that, which I did. But you're all by yourself, I know it there, we're in a commercial place,
With no room.
not bothering nobody for 35 years, and the board denies it. So, I don't know. I like me, I like the idea. I don't care what anybody else thinks.
Let me say one thing. I think the reason Trustee Meritato asked me that is because we do have some litigation going on with one of the members of the comparable things that you've been bringing up. So maybe I was a little quick. It probably, with respect to the one that's in litigation, we should stay away from. I mean, this application of Mr. Schroeder kind of stands on its own. The village board agrees with the plan commission or they don't, is what it ultimately comes down to.
Can I go back in front of the planning commission?
No,
And it's to
no,
try-
it's not in their jurisdiction anymore,
It was
Michael.
moved to the board already, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, we haven't voted.
We didn't
Well,
vote on
they
it.
said that they said the board could bounce it back to the planning
Oh,
commission.
we could?
Board
I mean,
can.
What they said at the meeting,
But that's not.
that's what I thought. I may be mistaken, Joanne.
No, I don't recall that, I was looking around for Peter, who was at the Plan Commission meeting, that the board would make a decision unless there was the board, and I would defer to Mr. Serino, if there's something
if the board
inordinate, if they want to ask additional information or the application changes, it could be remanded back to the Plan Commission, but that's if the application is if there's a substantive change or additional information is required.
Well,
Is that-
the substitute change would be me staging the vehicles on the side then.
So which, you could certainly make that presentation to increase the proposal to include the side.
So the proposal didn't include parking any U-Haul trucks on the side?
No, it was to park them in the rear of the building.
I was told that the side of my building, which is a driveway, is an access to the rear of the building, and I guess I'm unable to park anything on there because I only paid for the cement, but I can't park anything on it.
Well, I mean, the board, it's within their decision whether or not they want to send it back to the plan commission. They don't need to. I assumed that it was here because the plan commission was finished with their analysis and they were done and they sent it to the board and that's the proper procedure and now it's within the board's hands to decide which way they want to vote.
But that would be a purview of the board, not the committee of the whole.
Well, yes. This committee is only making a recommendation to itself.
Right.
Is what really occurs. So however the vote goes tonight, it'll appear again in 2 weeks with an ordinance for a final decision.
Thank you.
Can I call for the question?
Of course.
What are we voting on?
What?
What are we voting on?
Sending it to the board?
Bringing it to the board, right?
Yes.
Yes.
But
With
the-
a recommendation, with the plan commission recommendation to deny.
Correct.
So if you vote in favor of the motion, you're agreeing with the plan commission to deny the conditional use. So a positive vote is to agree with the plan commission to deny. A negative vote is to agree with Mr. Schroeder that a conditional use is appropriate. Correct, Joanne?
Yes, sir.
And all the mayor's saying is, in her opinion, it's time to vote. We've deliberated and talked long enough, and she's calling the question.
I don't think we're getting any
And if
positive
nobody has any
progress.
objection to that, then it's time to call the vote.
Okay. All right.
Do a voice vote or no?
I think you want a
By
voice
voice
vote.
vote?
No, I think you want to,
Not a voice vote.
no, you want a roll call vote, yes.
Okay, will clerk take a roll call vote,
But
please?
there was a motion and a second, I don't
Yes.
remember,
Yes.
so, okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, President Jackson,
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt,
Yes.
Trustee Light,
Yes.
Trustee Meritato,
No.
Trustee Pojek,
Yes.
and Trustee Schroeder.
I want to make sure, no?
No,
No.
no, but that doesn't, 3-1, 3-2.
It'll, as I said, it'll go back to the full board in 2 weeks in an ordinance form and be a little easier conceptually because it'll be an ordinance to deny. So, an ordinance will be prepared consistent with what they just voted on to deny the application.
Okay.
But it will take another vote in 2 weeks.
All right. Any other additions? If not, may I have a motion to adjourn, please? Trustee Light,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Adjourned.